the political settlement is looking difficult right now. And it's looking difficult right now because the Taliban are refusing, and we tried. I tried to persuade the Taliban. This is months back, 3 or 4 months back. The Taliban senior leadership came here, and we tried to persuade them to come to some sort of a political settlement. The only thing that would stop Afghanistan from descending into anarchy is a political settlement. But unfortunately, the Taliban, when they were here, they felt that they refused to talk to Ashraf Ghani. Their condition is that as long as Ashraf Ghani is there, we are not going to talk to the Afghan government. Now, the Afghan government is extremely critical about Pakistan. They don't realize that the moment the Americans started drawing down their troops, and especially when they gave an exit, from then onwards, our leverage on Taliban was minuscule, diminished, because the Taliban thought they had won the war. They had won the war by not losing to the Americans. And in their mind that once the Americans left, then they had won. When time was given for exiting Afghanistan by Americans, it became extremely difficult to try and persuade them. And Afghan government, unfortunately, is now blaming Pakistan for what is happening there. They somehow think that Pakistan has supernatural powers. We are a superpower plus, which can, which has such power that 70,000 Taliban can take on 300,000 Afghan government troops with aircrafts and with modern weapons. And somehow, we have that power to make them win. And the other reason is Afghan government, I think, right now, from what I can see, they are blaming Pakistan, as well as they are now trying everything to somehow get the Americans back into Afghanistan. So this is the situation right now. You asked me a question about us being worried. We are worried because the direct impact of this descending into a prolonged civil war, this is what we think will happen. It will be a prolonged, protracted civil war. And the country that will be most affected after Afghanistan will be Pakistan. There's a likelihood that again in our Pashtun areas we will have problems. So that's number one. Number two is refugees. We already have 3 million refugees in Pakistan, Afghan refugees. 3 million registered. We think there are over about 500,000 more than that. So last thing we want, our economy is just recovering. We do not want another inflow of refugees. And number three is that, we have now great plans of our connectivity right into Central Asia through Afghanistan. And we are worried that if there is a civil war in Afghanistan, this whole economic agenda of connectivity with Central Asia goes out of the window.